Hello, I'm Stan Stolniker with Hub Culture, and we're at New York Climate Week in, obviously, New York City. I'm with Henry Yuan from the Jintai Art Museum in Beijing, one of China's sort of unlikely leaders on the environmental front. Hi, Henry, welcome.
Hi, very nice to meet you, Stan, in New York.
Yes, it's good to see you. So, as we know, Hub Culture and Jintai have a combined project together operating now in Beijing as a hub, and it's very much focused on environmental innovation. Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening on the environmental innovation front in China?
Sure, it is a great pleasure to have the hub culture in Beijing, China at this moment, because just as you know, the Chinese government just passed the 12th five-year plan this year, and it's really outlined its commitments to the sustainability innovation, so which is a really good moment for hub culture to get involved and build the global networks in China and to bring more stakeholders and corporates and NGOs.
So when you talk about this 12 five-year plan, can you tell us what are the fundamentals of that plan with regard to the environment? What are the goals of China, and what do you see happening in the future?
Well, sure. The Chinese government just like develop a lot of energies companies and with the global involvement, and also to work together with the climate group in order to boost this kind of involvement, and also to bring to build a lot of basic infrastructures in cities, mostly in Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou. But also they also develop a lot of infrastructures in suburban areas, and including renewable energies, such as trying to get rid of the gasoline stations and to put more renewable energy stations in the city.
So when you talk about this move towards the government supporting new clean energy companies, can you name any of these companies, or do you know what kind of companies are being developed to focus on this?
Well, this is a really good question. There are 2,000 of 500 on the list right now, and several of them, including some like green building companies, like including certified? Yes, and like Vanke is one of them, and this is really a real estate leaders in China right now, and also some like small companies, and mostly including some digital companies and some car companies, including one of called Geely.
Geely, right. So let's talk a little bit about the Jintai Museum. So tell us a little bit about the museum and what the connection is to the environment with the leaders from the museum.
Okay. So the Jintai Art Museum just established in 1996, by the Professor Yuan Kun, and he's the standing member of the Chinese Political Consultative Conference, and also he's the artist as well. And this is the private-owned museum in Beijing, and which is located in the CBD, in the Chaoyang Park, which is also a good combination of a human landscape and natural landscape. And so its goal is to promote transcultural communications, including some sustainability kind of core concept. So we're trying to use our venue as the networks for bringing more involved stakeholders together. And at this point, for the next 2 years, we're trying to transform our basic structures into more environmentally friendly kind of a building through working with some energy companies, including the solar panels.
Okay, so the museum, as I understand it, is really obviously very well located because it's in the corner of Chaoyang Park, which is in the center of the business district. The Hub Culture collaboration with Jintai has focused around the creation of an environmental innovation lab, and the idea to bring different environmental groups into the space to be able to network and to connect. Can you tell us about some of the things that have been happening at the museum over the last several months as a result of this?
Sure, and we had a sneak peek event, which is the small opening in Beijing in May, and it's really an exciting event, and we have a lot of people getting involved in this project, and including a lot of China Entrepreneurship Club, which they're trying to bring a lot of young investors and young companies to get involved in this project and trying to transform their mode of production and their business model through this involvement. And also, I think in the last months, we just developed a lot of networks with the local companies and even the local government as well. And they're really excited about our projects, especially some series including the Water Week and also the Climate Week, but it's not something like this climate group.
Not yet.
But we're also trying to combine some creativity industry to this project and to combine more creative solutions.
So the project in Beijing is bringing together environmental leaders, it's bringing together small businesses, entrepreneurs, local Chinese companies, international companies in the environmental sector together to create ideas. Is the focus, do you think this is the way that China will sort of focus on developing environmental solutions going forward?
Right. I think this is really a good start for China to think about and how to bring the new emerging businesses to more sustainable kind of production, because we saw a lot of established companies. It's really hard to transform their existing production, but they tried really hard, so they can be a really good advisor to those emerging companies. And this kind of partnerships also could give a lot of good guidance for the Chinese government to follow their steps.
So how does a company that wants to be involved with this environmental movement in China get involved? Do they contact Jintai, and how do they do that?
Well, they mostly contact the Hub Culture Beijing, and because this is really new kind of partnerships and really exciting projects, which is create a co-working space and also partnership networking platforms in China. So they just contact the Hub Beijing team and to sort out what kind of a partnership they can seek through this platform.
Okay. Great. Well, that's Henry Yuan from the Jintai Art Museum in Beijing here at New York Climate Week. I'm Stan Stolniker, also with Hub Culture. So if you want to get involved with environmental action and progress in China, I guess this is the place to do it. So thank you, Henry.
Thank you.